Somewhere online, someone found a video claiming that ordinary kitchen aluminum foil and plain white vinegar could create instant heat, almost like a free chemical hand warmer. It sounds like magic, or maybe a trick that only smart people know about. But here on Boring Economic Update, we like to slow down and ask a simple question before we get excited about any hack. Does it actually work the way people say? And if it does work even a little, does it actually save you money in the real world? That second question is the one most videos skip completely. They show you a dramatic moment, foil smoking, bubbles fizzing, someone gasping, and then they cut away before you ever find out if this is something worth doing at home. We are not going to do that here. We are going to walk through this slowly, honestly, and with real economic thinking. The same way you would think about any purchase or any project that claims to save you money. Because underneath this small kitchen experiment is a much bigger idea. The idea of turning cheap, common materials into something useful instead of buying a solution at the store. That idea matters more than people realize, especially when prices for everyday items keep climbing and people are looking for any edge they can get. Before we go further, if you enjoy this kind of grounded, no-hype look at everyday experiments and the money side of things, go ahead and hit subscribe now, because we publish videos like this regularly, and it genuinely helps the channel grow when you do. All right, let's get into it. The two materials in question could not be more ordinary. Aluminum foil sits in almost every kitchen drawer in the country, usually costing just a few dollars for a roll that lasts for months. Vinegar is even cheaper, often just a couple of dollars for a large bottle, and most households already have some sitting in a cabinet for cooking or cleaning. So right away, the appeal is obvious. If this trick works even a little, you are talking about pennies worth of material, not some specialized kit you have to order online. Compare that to a store-bought hand warmer, which usually costs $1 or $2 per single-use packet. And suddenly, this cheap kitchen trick starts to sound like a real bargain, at least on the surface. That is exactly the kind of claim we want to test carefully, because cheap only matters if the thing actually does what it promises. So let's talk about what is supposedly happening when foil meets vinegar. Aluminum is a reactive metal, meaning it does not just sit there doing nothing when it touches certain liquids. Vinegar is a mild acid, weak compared to something you would find in a lab, but still strong enough to interact with metal over time. When acid meets aluminum, especially if the foil has been scratched or crumpled so fresh metal is exposed, a slow chemical reaction can begin. That reaction can release small bubbles of gas and can produce a very slight amount of warmth as the metal breaks down. Notice the words we are using here, a very slight amount of warmth, not an explosion of heat, and not anything close to a stove or a space heater. That distinction matters because the video title promises something dramatic, and part of our job today is figuring out how much of that promise is real and how much is exaggeration for clicks. Before touching anything, it makes sense to think about safety, the same way you would before starting any small home project. Working in a space with decent airflow is a good idea, since any gas being released, even in small amounts, is better not concentrated in a sealed container or a tiny closed room. It is also smart to avoid direct, prolonged skin contact with the reacting materials, and to keep the setup away from open flames, since hydrogen gas, if it forms, is flammable in certain conditions. None of this means the experiment is dangerous in a wild, headline-grabbing way, but it does mean common sense matters, the same common sense you would use with any household chemistry. For our setup, the plan is simple and low cost. Take a sheet of standard kitchen aluminum foil, crumple it slightly so more surface area of bare metal is exposed to the liquid, and place it into a small heat-safe container. Pour in enough plain white vinegar to fully cover the foil. Not flooding the container, just enough contact between metal and liquid. Then the plan is to simply wait and observe, checking in at regular intervals rather than expecting some instant dramatic burst the moment the liquid touches the foil. This is where patience becomes part of the economics lesson too, because a lot of DIY money-saving hacks fail, not because the underlying idea is wrong, but because people expect Hollywood-style instant results from a slow, quiet chemical process. Real processes, whether they are chemical reactions or long-term investments, usually take time to show their true value. We also want to track a few basic things as we go, using our hands and simple observation rather than expensive lab equipment. Since most people trying this at home will not own a thermometer built for chemistry work, we will pay attention to whether the container feels warmer over time, whether bubbles form and how quickly, and whether the foil itself visibly changes as the reaction continues. These are the same kinds of practical, hands-on checks anyone could do in their own kitchen, without needing anything fancy or expensive. And that, in a way, is the real heart of today's experiment, not whether we can create some incredible new heat source, but whether an average person, spending almost nothing, can learn something useful about how materials, money, and expectations interact. With the setup ready, the vinegar poured, and the foil sitting quietly inside, there is nothing left to do now but watch closely and let the process begin. A few minutes in, nothing dramatic has happened yet, and that itself is useful information. There is no sudden burst of steam, no visible flame, nothing that looks like the fireworks-style demonstration some videos promise. Instead, if you look closely at the foil sitting in the vinegar, you can start to notice something subtle, tiny bubbles clinging to the surface of the metal, especially around the places where the foil was crumpled or scratched. Those bubbles are a sign that a reaction is actually taking place, even if it is quiet and slow rather than loud and sudden. Touching the outside of the container carefully, you might notice the faintest hint of warmth, nothing close to hot. More like the container feels slightly less cold than the room around it. This is the honest reality of the experiment, and honesty matters more than excitement here. The reaction between aluminum and a mild acid like vinegar does release a small amount of energy. But vinegar is weak, and kitchen foil is thin, so the total amount of heat produced is genuinely modest, not something that could realistically warm your hands the way a commercial heat pack does. As time passes, maybe 10 or 15 minutes, the bubbling can become a little more noticeable in certain spots, particularly where the foil has broken down enough to expose fresh metal underneath. This is the core action of the whole experiment, watching a slow chemical process unfold in real time, rather than expecting an instant transformation. It is worth pausing here to think about why so many online demonstrations make this look far more dramatic than it actually is. Camera angles, close-up shots, dramatic music, and clever editing can take a small, real reaction and make it look like something explosive and powerful. That is not necessarily lying, but it is definitely shaping expectations in a way that does not match what you would experience trying this yourself at home. This is actually a very common pattern, not just in kitchen science videos, but in a lot of money-saving or DIY content in general, where the presentation promises far more excitement or far more savings than the real, grounded outcome delivers. Continuing to observe the foil and vinegar over a longer stretch of time, say closer to 30 minutes or more, you can usually see the aluminum foil becoming more damaged, thinner in spots, sometimes developing small holes where the reaction has eaten through the metal. The liquid itself may become slightly cloudy, and there might be a faint metallic smell in the air near the container. None of this points to a device you could realistically use to heat your hands on a cold morning, or to warm up leftovers, or to replace an actual heating source in your home. What it does show is a genuine, observable chemical interaction, cheap and easy to see with your own eyes, using nothing more exotic than items already sitting in most kitchens. Now, here comes the important economic thinking. Because the goal of this channel was never just to see if bubbles form, it was to figure out if this trick has any real practical value once the excitement wears off. Let's think about it the way you would evaluate any small project or purchase. The materials cost is close to nothing. A small piece of foil and a splash of vinegar, both items most people already own for cooking or cleaning. Time invested is a different story, since watching and waiting for a subtle reaction takes patience, and time has value too, even when we do not always think about it that way. If someone spent 30 minutes carefully setting this up and observing it purely hoping for a genuine heat source, the return on that time investment is very low, because the heat produced is simply not enough to replace anything you would normally pay for. Compare this to a store-bought hand warmer again, the kind that costs a couple of dollars and reliably produces real, usable heat for an hour or more with almost no effort or waiting. In that comparison, the manufactured product wins clearly on practical value, even though it costs more upfront, because it actually does the job it claims to do, consistently and predictably. This is where a basic economic lesson quietly appears inside a kitchen experiment. The idea that cheap is not the same as valuable, and free materials are not automatically a good deal if they fail to reliably deliver the result you actually need. At the same time, it would be unfair to call this experiment worthless, because its value was never really about heat in the first place. The real value here is understanding, seeing with your own eyes how a chemical reaction behaves, how marketing and video editing can exaggerate a real but modest effect, and how to evaluate a free trick against a paid alternative using simple, grounded thinking rather than excitement alone. That kind of thinking. The habit of asking what something actually costs in time and materials, and what it actually delivers in return, is far more valuable long-term than any single kitchen hack could ever be. By the end of this process, the foil has visibly reacted, the vinegar has done its slow work, and the container has offered nothing more than a faint, temporary warmth, easily explained and easily reproducible, but nowhere close to a genuine heating solution. The experiment did what it was supposed to do, not by producing a dramatic result, but by giving us an honest, first-hand look at where the line sits between an interesting chemical curiosity and a practical, money-saving trick you could actually rely on. Sitting there looking at the damaged foil and the slightly cloudy vinegar, it becomes clear that this experiment proved something, just not the thing the video title promised. It did not prove that you can replace a real heat source with kitchen scraps. What it proved is something more useful in the long run, a small, repeatable lesson about how to think clearly when something online promises an easy win. That lesson starts with separating the idea of this reaction is real from the idea of this reaction is useful. Both things can be true or false independently, and a lot of viral kitchen tricks get that distinction blurred on purpose because blurred lines make for better clicks. In this case, the reaction is real. Aluminum and vinegar genuinely interact, genuinely produce bubbles, and genuinely release a small amount of warmth. But usefulness is a separate question, and usefulness is where this particular trick quietly falls apart. A hand warmer needs to produce enough heat quickly enough and hold that heat long enough to actually matter on a cold day or during an emergency. This experiment did none of those three things in a meaningful way, and pretending otherwise would not be honest, even if it made for a more exciting ending. So where is the real value in a project like this, if not in the heat itself? The real value shows up in a few quiet places that are easy to miss if you are only watching for fireworks. First, there's the value of low-cost curiosity, the ability to test a claim for almost nothing using items already sitting in your kitchen instead of spending money on a product or a kit just to find out if something is true. That kind of cheap, low-risk testing is actually a very healthy financial habit, whether it applies to a kitchen trick or a bigger purchase decision, because it trains you to verify before you invest real money based on a video or an advertisement. Second, there's the value of understanding limits, learning firsthand that possible and practical are not the same thing. A lot of financial decisions, not just kitchen experiments, fall into that same trap where something is technically possible, but not actually a smart use of your time, money, or effort once you look closely at the full picture. Third, and maybe most importantly, there's the value of resisting hype, of watching a dramatic claim, testing it honestly, and coming away with a clear-eyed, grounded understanding instead of blind excitement or blind dismissal. Now let's talk about when a DIY approach like this actually does make financial sense, because it is not always a bad idea, even if this particular case falls short. DIY solutions tend to make sense when the materials are genuinely inexpensive, when the process is simple enough that failure does not waste much time or money, and when the outcome, even if modest, still beats doing nothing at all. Think about simple things like using a homemade solution to clean a dirty surface, or repurposing household items for basic organization, or fixing a small item yourself instead of replacing it entirely. In cases like that, even a partial success saves real money, because the alternative, buying something new, would have cost noticeably more for a similar or only slightly better result. On the other hand, DIY solutions stop making financial sense when the task requires reliability, safety, or consistent performance that a homemade method simply cannot guarantee. A hand warmer is actually a perfect example of that second category, because when you are cold, you do not want maybe a little warmth if you wait long enough. You want steady, dependable heat you can count on, especially outdoors or in an emergency situation. Paying a small amount for a product engineered specifically to solve that exact problem is not wasteful. It is simply recognizing that some problems deserve a reliable, tested tool instead of an experimental one. This is where hidden costs come into the conversation, the ones most viral videos never mention. Time is a hidden cost, and 30 minutes spent waiting for a weak reaction is 30 minutes not spent on something else that might have mattered more. Learning curve is a hidden cost too, since not everyone will get the ratio, materials, or setup right on the first try, meaning some people might repeat the experiment multiple times, chasing a result that was never going to arrive. An expectation cost is real as well. The quiet disappointment that comes from believing a bold title and then discovering the truth is far more modest, which can make people distrust genuinely useful tips in the future because one flashy claim let them down. None of this means you should feel discouraged from trying small experiments like this one. In fact, the opposite is true, because the only way to build good instincts about money, materials, and value is to test things yourself sometimes, carefully and safely, and compare the result to the promise. The aluminum foil is a little thinner now, some of it eaten through in small patches. The vinegar sits slightly cloudy, a quiet record of a real but modest reaction. No fire was started, no serious heat was produced, and nothing here will replace a real hand warmer on a genuinely cold day. But something more lasting did happen here today. A small, practical reminder that the most valuable skill in personal finance is not finding secret tricks. It is learning to test claims honestly and judge them by what they actually deliver, not by how exciting they sound in a title. That skill costs nothing, works on kitchen experiments and major purchases alike, and pays off far,